We are live for this year's final edition of Knowledge Gumbo Conversations. And I am the lead for this conversation. Okay, mine went blank, but that's all right. Uh, Lead for this conversation, Alicia Thomas. And as we have started recently, all our conversations with a reminder to you in case no one has said it to you this week or this day that you are smart, you are important, you are loved, you are needed, you are necessary. There are holes in this world and in people's lives that only you can fill. So, really remember that. You are needed, you are necessary. So, what are we going to talk to as some of you get ready to go out tonight for New Year's Eve, whether that's just getting together with family or actually going out to a party, or if you're like me, some of you all, you ready to hop in them comfy pajamas, grab some tea or some hot chocolate, maybe a little apple cider, and just chill and hope you can stay awake till midnight. So, as we wrap up and go into the next year, 2026, I thought I'd talk a little bit about some goals because I really want to grow this platform, grow this family, get more participation going, uh, to grow this gumbo family uh, through both the newsletter and through this YouTube channel. Because I believe we have valuable conversations, valuable discussions. We provide interesting information, and it needs to be shared with more people, especially in the climate that we find ourselves in right now, where, as far as Black history is concerned, it's being suppressed. And so that's why I want to continue to encourage you to document the history in your family, in your neighborhoods, in your cities. You know interesting people that have interesting stories, and I think that you need to be an active collector of stories. Because as they say, whoever wins the war writes the history. But it's also valuable that whoever values the written word documents the entire history. So, shout out to Gretchen. How you doing this fabulous New Year's Eve? Or it's a little bit earlier where you are, so you've got a little bit of time to get ready for it. But as I was saying, I really want to grow this community this year and put on a full court press and give tons and tons of value, tons and tons of information, and grow this gumbo family. The other goal that I'm looking at for the new year is I've decided that I treat health like it's on again, off again, like a bad relationship, except for I'm the bad partner in that relationship. So I said, let me change how I'm looking at it, and I'm gonna say, health is mandatory because you can't do all of the other great things that you want to do if you don't have your health. And if your health is secondary, then you just can't do things at the level and the quality that you want to do because you don't have the energy, you don't have the mental focus. Um, so I'm changing my mindset to health is mandatory. It's not optional, you know. And I'm looking to create systems that I can carry forth for the rest of my life. It's not a simple goal of I want to lose X amount of weight or I want to lose X amount of body fat, even though I do have those goals. It's about creating a lifestyle that I can maintain because when you analyze most of the time when people have goals, like say, oh, I want to lose this much weight, then they get to that much weight and revert back. Like I've done 75 hard twice and I've kept a little bit of the habits that they have you do every day, but I didn't integrate it into my lifestyle. So what that and it became a part of every day. It was like, okay, I got to do this for 75 days. And then at the end of the 75 days, yeah, I was feeling good. I was looking better. My mental focus and discipline was better. But I didn't flip that into systems, into my lifestyle so that I could maintain it. So that's what we're looking to do is create systems that I can maintain for the rest of my life and be excited about it. So, and then I guess the final one I'm going to share is I definitely want to be more proficient at AI, at doing prompting, at helping me to create more and generate more that I can share. So that's kind of like a little caveat that feeds into everything else is getting better at prompting and maybe even eventually towards the end of the year moving into looking at learning enough of it to maybe create my own app, looking at maybe a history app, but getting the fullness of that probably won't be till 27, 28. But I want to spend the majority of this year though getting better at asking the right things and prompting the right ways so that that can become easier to do. So share below what some of your goals are or your plans to modify the systems in your life to become, more I struggle with the word habit because yes, habits are something that we can do, but they're good habits and bad habits. But the same thing applies too when you think about systems. So, but create better systems to create a higher quality of life for however long of the life you have left. So that it's not just something that you do for a period of time. It doesn't have necessarily a time limit on it. Or maybe it's just a system of though for a certain amount of days or a certain amount of weeks, a certain amount of months. You want to be strict about it until it becomes automatic, but it has to become something that's a part of your everyday. So that's the way I'm looking at it. To address it or let it slide segment for this evening, I'm going to skip the animations because it still isn't working the way I would like it to. So maybe that's something I need to work on with that AI as well. But for this week's address it or let it slide, explaining yourself when you do not owe an explanation. And when came up with this, I know the phrasing is a little off, but it's kind of like people expect you to explain everything. And I've fallen in love with the phrase that no is a complete sentence, that I don't owe you an explanation. I may supply you with one depending on our level of relationship, but my decision is my decision. My yes is my yes, my no is my no. So, do you feel like you need to explain yourself? Do you find yourself trying to justify why you've made a decision? Or have you gotten to the point now where your yes is your yes and your no is not your no? And if someone wants you to explain, do you just keep going with the conversation, let it slide? Like, I don't owe you anything. Let's go on to the next topic. Or do you address it with the person and say, I don't owe you an explanation. This is my decision. Point blank, period. And I think that's important going into this new year because as we continue to grow and learn and do different things, we have to be resolute. We have to make decisions. And then we can go back and evaluate it. And if we need to make adjustments, we can make adjustments. But nothing is going to change. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get better or anything like that until you make that decision and you follow through on that decision and you do what you need to do. And only then can you get feedback to discover whether that was good, whether it was bad, somewhere in the middle where you have to add a little bit more to it. So look at it as I don't want to say challenge, but be mindful when you give people answers or make a decision and people want you to justify it. Do you really owe them an explanation? Do you really need to give them room to pick apart what you want to do or even who you want to become? So, as we wrap up this last knowledge gumbo conversation for the year, instead of what else don't I know, which I'm contemplating changing that section to something to a different title called Something I Recently Learned. Because I want to be I'm a perpetual student. And I know as I share, it becomes more ingrained in me. So I want it to be more like we're sharing, I'm learning, you're learning, we're learning from each other, as opposed to being a know it all or this is what you should do, this is what you should say. I mean, of course, there are going to be times where I feel very strongly about something and I'm going to say it like that. But the overall conversation, it should be a give and take. It should be an ebb and a flow to everything. So I'm playing around with that final section of this conversation being something I recently learned instead of what else don't I know. But for this year end, I want to end with something of what I know to be true. And I think we should be mindful of this every day, but especially as we go from one year to the next. What I know to be true is each year, month, week, day, hour, minute, second is a blessing. I'll say it one more time for you. Each year, month, week, day, hour, minute, second is a blessing. It should not be taken for granted. There will be people who go to sleep tonight that will not wake up tomorrow morning. There will be people who are healthy today and will be sick or diagnosed tomorrow. We must squeeze every bit of joy, love, and happiness and share that with people each day, each second, each minute, each hour of every day, of every week, every month, every year. Because you're still here, that means there's something else for you to do. There's something else for you to learn. There's someone else for you to love and to receive love from. There's some contributions that you are still here to make. It's a blessing. You're a blessing when you do what you were called to do. When you share who you are, someone or something needs you to be the best you that you know how to be. And with every second, minute, and hour of every day, week, month, and year, there's more. As you grow, there's more of you to share with other people. So don't lose hope. This time of year is kind of a little hard because I lost my mother around the first of the year. Although I think she was stubborn enough that she made sure she waited, that she was not going to die during the holiday season, that she was not going to ruin holiday seasons for people. She's just that stubborn. But you can't let the sadness take over. You got to honor the people that you've loved and lost by living the best that you can. Because when you don't, it's like spitting in their face because they loved you. They knew how important you are. And they enjoyed you in their lives until their final breath. So that's what I'm saying. Change your mindset. Stride into this year like you own it. I mean, just strut. Do that George Jefferson strut. You are all that and a bag of chips. Thank you for rocking with me as I started this live stream. It's only been a couple months old. And I appreciate your time because that is, besides love, that is the greatest gift we give to people every day is our time. And I appreciate yours. And know that from the bottom of my heart, I am grateful for every time you watch, whether it's live, whether it's on replay. I'm grateful. So that's it for this week's Knowledge Gumbo Conversations, the last of 2025. As I said, as we stride or high kick like the band does, marching band, into 2026. Let me know if anything resonated with you. Comment below if it did. If you haven't already, join our Gumbo family by subscribing to the newsletter, but also participating in these conversations. And going forward, we're going to be putting out more content on a daily basis so that you have something to nibble on every day. Because we want to be a place where community and culture come together and sharing it one story at a time. So, Happy New Year. Have a great and safe evening if you're going out. If you're staying home, put on the comfy socks, wrap up in the blanket, get your tea, get your hot chocolate, and have a blessed new year. And we will see you next week.
Beat drops heavy, heartbeat steady, ready.
Check the mirror, see a queen in the reflection. No doubt, full steam, no signs of deflection. Crown on my curls, world in